Is there anybody listening? Is there anyone that sees what's going on? Read between the lines, criticize the words they're selling. Think for yourself and feel the noise.
Good morning and welcome back to the Trailer Park. I am Chanda-Masta, the Trailer Park Pundit, and this is my Monday. So welcome to my Monday. I literally forgot how to do everything. Oh yeah, I'm supposed to do a countdown. I don't know. My brain's on autopilot. That's what happens when I play in the garden too much. Then I can't think of the things I need to get done. Good morning, everybody. Giving Rockfin time to catch up and the crazy rumble. It's like we have two different rumble channels all on the same channel. I can't comprehend it. Why do I look like I've been punched in the eye? Haven't been sleeping well. Haven't felt good the last few days. I don't know. It's been so hot here. Maybe it's the heat. Maybe it's the fact that I am just overworking myself lately. I'm living my life by hours. I've been so busy. Okay, for these 2 hours, I got to do this. For this hour, I got to do this. And I don't like that. I really don't. But then I hate having too much downtime either, right? You're like, oh, I ain't doing nothing. I'm not being productive. So, you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. Do you guys like my card? I'm going with the whole noir theme, because Oz and I are doing film noir on Saturday's Beauty and the Boomer. And so we'll have a lot of throwback stuff. I know he's bringing a lot of Bond stuff. I'll probably be bringing a lot of Pulp Fiction stuff, but it'll be fun. We always have fun. And then, of course, next week we kick off Hot Summer Nights. This will be our third year of Hot Summer Nights. And we like Hot Summer Nights. We just have fun and kind of cut loose. And we're so glad that you guys are still following, still watching. Beauty and the Boomer is kind of its weird own little culty group that hangs out over there. And I love it. It's an amazing community that's really just built up organically on its own over the years. So let's see. There's my card. Pretty card. Yeah. I just love the glam in the trailer park in the background because that's kind of how I feel about myself, right? I got all the glam and the trailer park too. I got all the white trashiness. We are on YouTube's today. Hello, YouTube. Hello. Oh, there you are. I see you now. Oh, wow. There's a lot of you guys hanging out over there. Fair use. Yeah. Anything, clips I bring, I'm just commentating. They are my speculation, my opinion, my thoughts. And if I tell you to go out there and do your own research, well, then, I'm being misleading and pushing misinformation. But if you do go do your own research, the truth is out there. They don't hide it because they just think you won't go look for it. So, yeah, I don't know what good fair use ever does anybody because we still take strikes no matter what. And if you'd like to buy me a coffee, I love coffee. I'm back to drinking coffee. Buymeacoffee.com/trailer park. That's a fun little site. There's some cool interactive stuff over there I need to work with more. And sadly, we are not on Twitch this morning because I'm running us on Twitter instead. So hello, Twitterland. But I did get my Twitch updated and we're growing on Twitch after 3 years of being over there. And that has a lot to do with my partners community because a lot of them are migrating over. So I appreciate that. And so I will be working on Twitch more. I just wanted to see what Twitter would do today. I don't know. I feel like we're kind of algorithmically suppressed on Twitter, but it's Twitter. And you can help me out with PayPal. PayPal goes directly to us, and they really don't take as much as some of the other platforms. Yes, we know PayPal's evil, but we know that they're all evil in one instance or another. So we're doing the best we can. And thank you for hitting my GoFundMe out there. I've had an old GoFundMe for a trip to DC that we took, I think, in October of last year. And I appreciate that people have been coming in and dropping money there. I am going to get a new GoFundMe set up because we're going to Argentina, guys. We're going to go observe the election in October. We're going to meet up with a lot of the independent media peeps. Should be a good show. Crazy Puppet, so glad to see you. A yellow dog? You got a yellow dog? I love yellow dogs. Yellow dogs are my favorite puppies. I have a thing for golden retrievers. I've always had Goldens. I love them. They're the sweetest, most loyal, doofy dogs on the planet. But I find that about most yellow dogs because yellow labs are that way too. Yeah, I wish I had a dog. I live in a trailer park, so I can't have a dog basically unless I want a little one. So I have cats. I'm a cat mom. My cats rule the world. Hey, Jilly, what's up? Crazy Puppety Yellow Dog. Yeah, I got that one. Natalie, got a Cash App? I do. It's at Chanda-Masta for Cash App. Or at Trailer Park. That's what it is. I got it at Trailer Park. At Trailer Park. I think that those might be down in the description below, or you can hit our link tree. Our link tree, I think, is in the description below, and it has everything on there. We appreciate it, guys, more than we can say. Last month was tough, but this month we're limping through this month. Natalie Williams, so glad to see you. Oz is hanging out. I tried to get Oz to come on the show because we got a lot to bitch about with the Durham report. Oh my gosh, I got a huge deck for you guys. Snow Leopard. Hi, Kim. Hi, Kim. Who else is in here? Kate. Hi, Kate. Talk to you later. Anthony. I crashed one of your parties yesterday. You were speaking over on a Twitter group, and I came in and checked it out. Good job. Let's see. Aspen Fallen. Hi. It's been a while. We appreciate everybody who's watching on all of our channels. Bella Lugusi's there. Of course, we are over on the Rumbles, and we are on the Rockfin. Let me shout out Rockfin. Fred Edwards. Fred, you're the best. You always get my links out for me. Lizzie. Hi, Lizzie. How's it going? How is it hot where you guys are? It seems like the Northwest is the only one cooking right now. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, but it's not too bad today. We woke up to some marine layer where I'm at. So yay, it's a cool down because this is insane to have 80 plus weather in the first week of May where I live. It's crazy. It's good. Okay. But my plants are loving it. They are sucking up the sun. But wouldn't you know it, they shut my water off in my park. So I'm packing water now to water everything. I hope that doesn't last. It's 80 in NYC, Kim. That's for New York, that's about average though, right? I think that's about normal for NYC at this time of the year. Who knows what normal is anymore since they have been geoengineering our asses for 30 years, but they're just now admitting to it. Okay, let's get this show on the road with this day in history. So, this day in history, May 16th, 1988. Yeah, cigarettes got tarred. So, this is when the Surgeon General, Everett Koop, reports that the addictive properties of nicotine, and that's when they put a warning label on them. They compared it to cocaine and heroin. But the crazy thing is the Surgeon General in 1968 actually knew all of this. That's how long it took them. It took them 20 years of fighting the tobacco lobby to be able to inform the people of the truth, even though the truth had been out there since 1968. How crazy is that? And we got some birthdays today. Of course, it's Tucker's birthday. Happy birthday to Tucker in the basement. And our favorite, Henry Fonda, actor, eugenicist. Yeah. Happy birthday. And my favorite here, H.H. Holmes. Do you guys know who H.H. Holmes was? He was one of the first ever American serial killers. He admitted to killing 27 people, if I remember right. There's a good Netflix doc on this. And basically what he did was he bought a freaking hotel during the World's Fair, and he turned it into like Saw. I'm not even kidding. Like there was torture rooms. Some would have gas that like knocked them out and killed them. Some had like fire. It's the most crazy story. And yeah, American born. They always are, aren't they? And check it out if you've never heard that story because it's crazy. Okay, let's get started with the Patriot Front. I mean, the Fed Front. The Fed Front was out in force this weekend. And I know you guys have seen all of the videos, but you cannot load the video. What is going on here? Maybe they took it down. Let's see. They took it down. The feds took that video down, guys. Oh, there we go. There we go. So there they are running to, get away from the camera so nobody sees them, take their masks and shirts off so everybody knows that who they really are, right? I mean, we've been telling you guys about these provocateurs, if you want to call them that are in all the groups. I don't care if you're on the ground with Antifa. I don't care if you're on the ground with Patriot Front or probably even Westboro. Yeah, they've all been infiltrated and they get a lot of their coaxing from these people. And yeah, there you go. So, oh, look, dear feds, at least change the uniform. Yeah. Patriot front, Patriot back. And it says property of the FBI on the back. Oh my God, the stupid circus games we're forced to watch. It's so insane. It's so insane. Yeah, it was police cosplay. Jilly freaking awesome. That is hilarious. Thank you, Fred. My Cash App is money sign Trailer Park Pundit. You guys are so great. I'm so I don't even know my own shit. But it's so crazy because when you start out, you think, okay, well, I'll just use one collection site and I'll only use one, and all of a sudden you just have shit everywhere, and that's really hard to keep up with for me is all the damn updating of sites and I gotta go change this, and it's just so insane. And I wasn't a very tech savvy person. Well, I mean, I've worked on with computers my whole entire adult life, obviously. But, as far as connecting and streaming, and I've learned all that on the fly. I have now been streaming on my own for 10 months, guys. 10 months. I think I'm getting into a routine of it. Crazy Puppet says the feds made that autistic club wear those those clothing. Feds have their hands up the club's butt so deep that they can see their hand. Yeah, yeah, and that's what I'm saying. When they take over these groups and they submissively plant ideas, right? Let's just take the Gretchen Wilson kidnapping attempt as one example of how they get into a group and they go, hey, you guys know what you should do? And we'll even supply you everything to do it. Like, don't worry about it, man. Just show up and we'll have all those stuff. So, I mean, we know they have a history of doing that. The CIA, the FBI, they've been doing this forever. I mean, that's what the CIA did when it was the OSS, right? I mean, this this is nothing new. Willie, good to see you, Willie Braggs. Love what you do on out there. I love your Twitter. You crack me up. You keep me laughing. Jilly, police curb and brutalize real protesters. Yes, from inside, right? It's insane. It's insane. And I don't care what side of it you're on. That's the truth. So, oh, we had great breaking news yesterday, but some of those with TDS just absolutely refuse to accept it. Just like they refuse to accept the Mueller report, they're flat refusing to accept the Durham report. So, yeah, he pretty much came out and said, yeah, the FBI effed up. There was no evidence of anything and not even enough evidence to trigger a fucking investigation. But, they did it anyways. So I brought quite a few slides on this, so we'll get started. Tapper, Durham report is devastating to the FBI to a degree. It doesn't exonerate Donald Trump. Of course, that's what those shits would be saying. Doesn't exonerate him. It's devastating to the FBI to a point, but not too much. So the FBI statement yesterday was the conduct in 2016 and 2017 that special counsel Durham examined was the reason the current FBI leadership already implemented dozens of corrective actions. We have now been in the place for some time. Had those reforms been in place in 2016, the missteps identified in the report could have been prevented. The report reinforces the importance of ensuring the FBI continues to do its work with rigor, rigor, objectively. Oh yeah, because that's the FBI, and professionalism. On point, man. The American people deserve and rightfully expect. No, the American people don't expect shit out of these three-letter agencies anymore. We expect them to lie to us, to cheat, and to set up the deep state. Because whether you believe the deep state exists or not, it's there, man. It's there and it's protected by these asshats. And we saw that up close and personal, especially in 2016. Comey, Clinton. I mean, we could go Wiener. I mean, there's so much that we could just cite as references to that. So, the Hollywood elites, they are not taking this very well. So the first thing I saw this morning when I opened my eyes was Babs. Papa, can you hear me? Freaking out over the whole Russians helped Trump. So it is clear that Russians helped Trump in 2016. He was later shown laughing in the Oval Office with the Russian ambassador. Oh my God. And the foreign minister with no Americans present. How dare him be in a room with other statesmen and dignitaries without another American present and to laugh? To laugh? Oh my God. He will not support Ukraine in Putin's barbarous war. He's a Russian asset. Now, mind you, the date on this. That was yesterday afternoon. Yesterday after frickin' noon. This is what they had to say. So, of course, all of y'all piled on, and I just loved that. This was a great, I mean, she had a mass amount of response, but it was everybody just fucking tearing her ass down. So Oz jumps in right off the bat. What a stain of my, stain on my life you and many in Hollywood have become. All of the music and wonderful entertainment ruined. You have all been conditioned. It's pitiful to watch you all lose your minds for the likes of Trump. Such a sad time we live in. Another casualty of sanity. And I think I was responding to Angel. Angel said something funny, and I was like, it's a mental illness. She really can't help it. She doesn't have the normal TDS. She has the 2016 strain of Hollywood TDS. Now, this is the strongest variant. And I absolutely do believe that the 2016 strain of TDS is the strongest variant that we are currently dealing with. It doesn't mean that it cannot, you know, what do they evolve? It might mutate and evolve into something much stronger and much worse. We know this will probably happen, especially as we get closer to 2024. So watch out. I have a feeling TDS will be evolving. And yeah, the spider web. We know the spider web. Yeah. Secretary of State, corrupt. Department of Justice, Loretta Lynn. Oh, yeah, that was a fun one in 2016. The meeting on the tarmac. It was nothing. The IRS, we talked about our kids, right? Remember? Oh, we just talked about our grandkids. Oh, the DNC, Debbie Wasserman Schultz, so corrupt, and called out by her own party so much that she had to frickin' resign. But not to worry, Hillary Clinton's campaign picked her up the very next day and made sure she had a nice, cushy landing. And nobody was any of the wiser. She got to run again. You know, she's still controlling Broward County down in Florida. Nothing's changed. The FBI, oh, come on, Comey. Comey was a good guy. He reminded you of somebody off of I don't know, what was that one show? Criminal Minds. Yeah, he reminded me of the FBI leader on Criminal Minds. He just wanted to do what's best for America. Yeah. Every strand in this web of corruption leads to the same spider. Imagine that. You mean the worst president that we've ever elected, Barack Obama? And yes, I will tell you that to your face. He is the worst president that was ever elected in my lifetime. And I was born under Nixon. You know, I started watching The American Plumber. The American Plumbers over on HBO. It's got Woody Harrelson, and basically it's the Watergate story, but it leads up to the Watergate story because Watergate was just one of quite a few fucking stupid things that the campaign to reelect Nixon was doing. And I kind of find it kind of slow, but there's some funny parts. I mean, Woody Harrelson's always great. And yeah, just the level of corruption back then, you go, fuck, this has been going on forever, ever and ever and a day. So let's see. Oh, yeah, I got a couple more memes over here. 2016, Trump will start World War III. 2023, we need to declare war against Russia. Yeah, love the anti-war Dems that have popped up to defend that shit. And then Trump tweeted out, now that the Russian collusion is proven lie, when do trials for treason begin? I've been hearing that one a lot. Is anybody going to be held accountable for this? Is anybody ever held accountable? Really? Really? Denver Attaway says Nixon was the last real American president. Ironically, isn't it ironic? I know we all fucking hate on Nixon. I was born and raised to hate on Nixon. Even in my baby book, my mother crossed out Nixon and put impeached, bad guy, and then put Ford on there. So my whole entire life, I thought Nixon was a bad guy. But actually, when I went and studied Nixon and what he did with China. We thought it was a great thing that he opened China up. Well, live and learn. We know better now, right? But when you look at the corruption level of the presidents that came after Nixon, yeah, he's a freaking toddler. Toddler. Uh, Oh, wow, that's crazy. Oh, I brought you guys a United Spot because United Spot brought you a funny on this one, and I'm sure they're going to drop quite a few in this series. So tune in for Beauty and the Boomer, and we'll have more.
Evidence here to send you away for a long time. You don't got nothing on me, cop! Oh, yes, I do. No, you don't! Oh, yeah? Yeah! Well, if you've got nothing to hide, you won't have a problem taking this lie detector test. Lie detector test? Yeah, a lie detector test. You've had one of these before, haven't you? No! These Hillary Clinton tapes are so boring.
I know, right?
I mean, who cares if she spied on Trump's campaign?
That's what I've been saying this whole time.
Hey, you want to watch some Hunter Biden bedroom videos?
Hell yeah.
So, what are your thoughts on John Durham? John Durham? The actor? No, John Durham, the special counsel for the United States Department of Justice. Never heard of him. And honestly, that doesn't even sound like a real job title. Sounds made up.
House Trigger!
Yes.
The dossier?
The what?
Christopher Steele?
Who? I've never heard that name before.
Christopher Steele. He's the author of the Trump-Russia
Do
dossier.
not say that name in my house.
What name?
Trump. You can't say Trump, okay?
I can't say Trump?
Silence!
Are you nervous? Nope, not a bit. You're already lying. No, I'm not. Did you spy on Donald Trump's campaign? Trump was flushing documents down the White House toilet. Did you spy on Donald Trump? No, I did not. Do you know what happened to Epstein? No, I do not. Whitewater? No. Vince Foster? No. Did you send classified emails? No. Benghazi? No. What? You're going to prison. I just had like the worst nightmare ever!
Oh, yeah? Well, every day being married to you is a nightmare.
Bill, I'm serious!
So am I.
Bill, I had a nightmare the FBI came to arrest me!
Well, sometimes dreams come true.
Hillary, I'd like to solve the puzzle! All right, go ahead. Epstein didn't kill himself! Yep, that's right. Hillary, are you ready? Yeah. You look nervous. No, I'm okay. All right, 25 seconds on the clock. We asked 100 American deplorables. When someone has dirt on you, what's the first thing you do? Get rid of them! Name something in your house that might get smashed. A computer. Try again. A laptop. Name someone who's hard to spy on. Donald Trump. Name someone who would never come to your house. The FBI. Name something you'll probably never see. The inside of a prison cell. All right.
There'll be more. There is more. Crazy Puppet, I agree with you. You said it would be funnier if the detectors weren't a pseudoscience. And they are a pseudoscience, 100%. I've taken a lie detector before. One of my best friends growing up's mother was a FBI lie detector examiner in the Seattle office. And so for slumber parties, we would have her hook us up and we'd all try to lie. And it was so cool. I remember I even had the printed out because back then it was an actual machine that and you got this printed out, piece of paper. And I literally had that paper hung on my wall all my teenage years. It was just one of those things in my bedroom. And so I've always been kind of interested in those. And the craziest part to me about this is they know it's a pseudoscience. It's been proven to be a pseudoscience for decades now, decades and decades, right? But they still use it eternally in the CIA and in the FBI to shake each other down. Like, if you want to get hired by the CIA, you got to take a fucking lie detector. The FBI, you got to take a lie detector. They know it's pseudoscience. It's just crazy to me that they still use it. Like, crazy. Okay, so now I want to get into the DNC portion of our show. So, no, Mama, the DNC can change. It's different this time. I see a lot of my former colleagues and organizers and activists out there doing this. And, I've had this meme since 2016 because I so related to it as somebody who had lived domestic violence for 30 plus years, growing up in it and then going and finding my own. being inside the Democratic Party in 2016 with everything that they pulled on us was exactly like being in the most abusive, dysfunctional relationship I have ever been in. They gaslight you. They sheepdog you. I mean, and these terms, these things that we coin, but when you're witnessing them in real time and having them done to you, like, then you really understand what it is, right? I don't think I really understood what gaslighting was until I was gaslit by the Democratic Party. And a lot of people seem to think that, hey, RFK Jr. is polling almost at the same as Biden. We got a chance if everybody would just jump on, and we could drive this right through the primaries and get him the nomination. But what we have learned since 2016 is that's not how the DNC works. They tell you they have a system, a structure, right, that allows grassroots candidates into the process. But that is absolutely not the reality of it when you're inside the frickin' party. On this very day, 7 years ago, I filed to run as a Democratic elected PCO, and I won. And I actually did 2 terms in that seat, inside the Democratic Party, hating them. They hated me. Oh gosh, I mean, the things I have been through, the abuse that I have taken, the things I have been called, I mean, it's for somebody who never really interacted with the public more than working at a gas station or working wherever I've worked over the years, to now be standing in a room with 300 people, and everything you say, they tell you you're crazy. They tell you you're wrong. They tell you you're in a cult. They tell you you're here just to infiltrate them, that you're not really a Democrat, that you don't believe in any of the stuff you're fighting for. And you have to stand there with your chin up high and tell them that they're freaking crazy and they need to shut CNN off. They need to shut MSNBC off. They need to realize the bad history of these candidates that they're supporting, like Hillary Clinton and Barack Obama, but they're all just starry-eyed in love. Oh my gosh, we might get a chance to be at the banquet and have dinner with one of them. I mean, that was the mentality, and it's so sickening to even think about the years I did inside there. And it was hell. It was hell. I would cry and I hated it. But I just got to keep fighting, right? We're going to take the Democratic Party over, and then we'll be able to implement the change that we need for our kids and our grandkids, right? That's not the reality. And up close, this is what the reality is. So yesterday was the anniversary of Roberta's Rules. Now, Roberta's Rules happened at the primary, or I mean, was it their primary? Yeah, they have an open primary, I want to say, in Nevada, right? So, and I think I brought the clip. Maybe we'll see if I can find the clip. Roberta's Rules, basically, they did a voice vote, and you can clearly hear the nays saying, no, we don't want to close the convention right now. They're fighting. The Bernie people are in there completely fighting. And she gavels over them. She just gavels over them. And when they're like, what the heck is going on? They just bring in the state patrol. So last night, the Nevada Bernie delegates were rejected out of the convention. The convention was adjourned. So basically, she said, we're adjourning this meeting. All those say nay, all those say yay. And she gavelled and ran off the stage. And they brought in troopers to calm the crowd. Remember, this was the whole they threw a chair incident. Do you guys remember that bullshit? Oh, they threw the chair. They threw a chair. No, Bernie people were throwing chairs. They were unhappy because they just 100% got cheated. They're playing by the rules of the DNC, and the DNC gavelled them down and changed the rules. And this is what always happens. I don't care where you're at, what state you're in. If they don't like what you're doing, they change the rules. So I said, tell me again how your Dem candidate has a chance to win the Democratic nomination, because you obviously don't understand how the DNC and the DCC works. And that's the reality of it. So, guys, I'm sorry I can't get excited for any of them. Robert F. Kennedy, Jr., Marianna Williamson. There's nobody that's running inside the Democratic Party that will have a chance to do anything other than say, please vote for Biden. So at the end of the day, save your $27, because the DCCC and the DNC, they have a ton of corporate money. They don't need that $27 that took you 2 fucking hours to earn. Stop doing this, people. It's crazy. We learned nothing. We learned nothing in 2016. Happy birthday. Shonda, don't spell it all at once. Thank you so much. We appreciate it, Gregory. That's very sweet of you. Actually, my birthday is not till next Wednesday, but I appreciate all the love early. Who doesn't like having a birthday for a week? So do you guys remember when Hillary sent out this email? So this is the anniversary of this email going out, where computer scientists have apparently uncovered a covert and severe linking the Trump organization to Russian-based bank. And I remember the pushback on this one. I remember having conversations with family that no, that is not true. That is not real. And no, there is no Russian P tape where Trump and a bunch of prostitutes are rolling around doing that. That was not the reality of it. But and I thought yesterday when that report dropped, I was like, I should send an email to that person and be like, oh, I told you all along. Here we are years later. And I told you it was bullshit. But they refuse. They just negate this and go, oh no, that's not real. That's not real. We know the proof was out there. We saw it. You didn't. You didn't. But I had to bring this because, I wanted to remind people what Hillary was saying, but I also want to remind people that a young man sacrificed his life unknowingly to bring us the truth of what was happening inside the Democratic Party and the DNC in 2016. And I'm still seeking justice for Seth Rich, whether his family is or not. We know the truth. I've always known the truth. I've known the truth since 2016. And I will go to my grave saying that we need justice for Seth Rich. And he is a American hero. That's what an American hero is. He saw information, he found information, and he risked his life and gave his life to give us that information. And we all know who he gave it to, whether they'll ever admit it or not, right? You got to protect your sources. And I commend Assange for protecting his sources. But I do absolutely believe that the 2016 WikiLeaks drops for the DNC came from Seth. Here's the problem with the story connecting Russia to Donald Trump's email server. A group of cyber researchers thought that Trump's organization used a secret server to communicate with Russia's largest private bank. Here's what's wrong with that claim. Now, this was The Intercept, and it's dated November 1st, 2016. So you were being told the truth in 2016 that was outlandish freaking lie, and there was no proof of it. Let's see who wrote that. I see Lee Fang's in there. I still follow Lee Fang. He's still doing great work. I don't know about the others because The Intercept, we all know what The Intercept did, right? Hunter Biden's story. Glenn Greenwald wanted to tell the truth about it. Nope, you got to go. You're fired from the entity that you created. So I don't give a lot of merit to The Intercept anymore, but The Intercept was out there telling us the truth back then. So let's hear what Hillary was saying to our favorite Rachel Mad Cow.
The only other adversary of ours who's anywhere near as good as the Russians is China. So why should Russia have all the fun? And since Russia is clearly backing Republicans, why don't we ask China to back us?
I hereby tonight ask China.
That's right. And not only that, China, if you're listening, why don't you get Trump's tax returns? I'm sure our media would richly reward you.
She's so evil. She's so evil. You see the look on her face. You're getting so intense. Like, this is so terrible. Oh, God. Well, China heard you. They heard you loud and clear, and they decided to hook up with Russia and say, F you, America. And yeah, thanks for that. Can't watch this shit. I know, Bella Lugosi. It's so hard. It's so hard. So did you guys see Sab had Elizabeth and Jared back on? If you don't know who that is the lawyers who sued the DNC in 2016. And I have always been a huge fan of both Jared and Elizabeth. I follow Elizabeth personally before she was taken off of Facebook and Twitter. Like, I loved interacting with her. She is like me. She has a very thin filter, if no filter. And, she's got kids and chickens, and they're just average freaking people trying to make their way, raise their kids and make it a better world. And they wrote a book, What Happened to Bernie Sanders. And if you haven't gone out and watched any of their work, please do. I mean, if it wasn't for them, we would have never had proof that the DNC says, hey, we don't have to listen to a goddamn word that our members say. We don't really have any members, and we can change our charter at any fucking time, and we can go into a smoke-filled back room and pick a candidate, and y'all can't say nothing about it, right? Because we thought, oh, their charter, we can sue them for not sticking to their own bylaws, because that bylaws are everything in the political world. You got your bylaws, and you stick to your bylaws and your mission statement, and yeah, the DNC just said, yeah, we don't care. We write that shit. It doesn't mean we follow that shit. And so I had to bring this clip from Sabby. And can I tell you guys, YouTube, Google would not let me move this clip just from YouTube into the Google Doc. It absolutely would not. I actually had to go burn it and pull it down. And that is the type of new censorship we're seeing with the Google. Glenn Greenwald, I can't bring his stuff. There was a Jimmy Dore talking about something, obviously, they didn't like that I couldn't bring the other day. So basically, I go around it. But so here is Sabby. And yeah, I love the Becks. They're so great.
You have candidates like Robert Kennedy and Marion Wilson coming around with their hand out, wanting you to reach into your pocket as, inflation is on the rise and the economy is going into the shitter. They want you to send your money to their enterprises. And, my advice as, a fellow citizen and as a lawyer and as somebody who has litigated this issue extensively is, you can do what you want with your money, but just be aware that this process is 100% fake. So don't get angry, and certainly don't call our office asking to file a lawsuit, because we're not doing anything close to that ever again. You have notice now, okay, that this process is a scam. It's as genuine to elections as professional wrestling is to wrestling. That's the best analogy. I mean, if you're still going to professional wrestling and you're shelling out your money because you think you're seeing authentic athletics, then you're a fool. If you're doing it because you enjoy the thrill, that's fine, but you can still watch the election nonsense and not give your money away. So it seems to me like you're flushing the money down the toilet.
Now, this came from DNC attorney Bruce Spiva. The DNC is a private association which should never be asked to engage in the discovery process or have to reveal any of its internal workings or strategies should they decide to select a candidate rather than allow a fair election of a candidate. This statement that the DNC is basically a private corporation, so to speak. Mm-hmm. How far does this go back? Does this go back all the way back to, since we mentioned RFK Jr., to when JFK ran for president, or when the original Bobby Kennedy ran for president? Does it go back that far, do you think?
So I wrote a book about the lawsuit, and I attempted to sort of trace that question back through time. And in terms of the rigging that you see now, where, the DNC operates as a private entity, with no duty to the people, it purports to call its members, but then its lawyer gets up in court and says it has no members. Yep. But that you see that go back to the 60s. Yep. You see that that style of rigging going back to McGovern, the McGovern campaign in the 70s. It's institutional. It's not, 100% the same every primary system, because they're constantly tweaking the rules and the role of superdelegates and things like that. But I'd say by the time it gets to 2016, they have the process pretty airtight.
They do. They got
and the difference, tight. The real difference between our times and sort of back then is the role of the media. Okay, yeah. The media is like 100% propaganda apparatus for, you know, the duopoly party system, and has no journalistic interest whatsoever.
If we go back to Bobby Kennedy was killed after he won the California presidential
True.
primary.
True.
Correct.
And I
Correct.
think more people need to look at that.
Yeah.
Like in
Absolutely.
a sense of like they were trying to stop and they're like, there is no way we're going to
Yeah.
let this guy get
Right,
into the
because
White
he-
House.
Great interview. Sabby's always doing great work. If you haven't gone and followed Sabs, you need to. She's got the best interviews. She's got great analysis, and I just find her so down to earth and relatable. So please go follow Sabs. And yeah, you know, let's talk about 2016. So basically, they had the super delegates tied down, and I can tell you that from inside the Democratic Party, because the first campaign I jumped on was trying to flip super delegates. So I literally spent 3 fucking months putting pressure on super delegates. I mean, and who are the super delegates, you ask? Okay, some of them are elected official, some are donors, some are delegates who have been appointed. I mean, it just hits and miss. It depends on where you're at, what district you're in. And so tracking these people down and putting pressure on them, it became apparent that they were unbudgeable. And why were they unbudgeable? Because at the end of August in 2015, they had a Hillary Clinton delegate boot camp. So basically, they threw a big Swarar camp off. You know, it was really nice, freaking facility, and all the super delegates came in and they talked strategy. And what they did was they did one little tweak to the DNC bylaws that said you don't have the right, you, the people, don't have the right to ask a super delegate to change their vote. So basically, they foresaw kind of some of it come in, and they hurried up and changed the rules beforehand. You know, and that's why we fought so hard to get the super delegates cut. I mean, remember we had the committee after the 2016 election, that the reform committee where shit libs like Nomiki Konst were on there saying, yeah, but it's okay, we're going to change this, and it'll never happen again. The only things that got changed gave them more control mechanisms inside the Democratic Party. And things have changed with the media, right? 2016, they got caught on their back foot, basically. They didn't see us coming in force on social media like we did for Bernie Sanders, right? That really, it networked us, it gave us power, and they didn't have the control mechanisms in place to suppress us, to stop us. And that's why we saw so much crazy shit, like them infiltrating our Bernie groups and posting, you know, P and CP and trying to make us look bad. That was all coming from the, you know, the operatives to try to slow us down. Well, now they've got mechanisms in place for all of that. I mean, we're full on 100% propaganda now on any of the news stations. We all know that. So I don't think they're going to encounter the same problems in 2024, definitely, that they encountered by 2016, because they already figured that stuff out. So Biden finally draws a bigger crowd than Trump. Sadly, it's true, right? There's a lot of talk out there about Uncle Joe Biden and his racism through the years, right? It's been very apparent. He's been right in your face with it. And, you know, but, you know, did you see that's where he gave the commencement speech? Did you see him dig around in his pants for 5 minutes? What the hell? I didn't bring that video, but literally he gives a terrible commencement speech at Howard University last weekend. And a lot of the graduates were not having it. There was a lot of pushback from what I saw, but of course, a lot of them loved him. But at one point, he's sitting there and he's sitting back like this, and he starts digging up inside of his thing. There's a lot of speculation. You saw it, Julie, right? What the fuck was he doing? I don't know if he was touching himself. He was trying to get his phone out of a pocket, but it did not look good. And the internet has been tearing him down for it. Oh, it's so gross. I had a video on this, but I didn't bring it. Elon Musk issued subpoena in the Jeffrey Epstein case. So this was from, is this Gateway Pundit? Yeah, I believe it's Gateway Pundit. And anyways, basically the article doesn't say shit other than they're attempting to serve Musk. They haven't been able to serve Musk, but they don't even reference or speculate as to why he's being subpoenaed. What information could Elon possibly have on Epstein and his connection with JP Morgan? Because that's what this comes down to. If you guys know, tell me, because this just seems a little weird. I mean, not that he's accepted the subpoena yet, but I don't know. What the hell? What the hell would Elon know? And Elon is not your friend. Elon is not your friend, guys. As much as you think he is not your friend. Maybe Elon and Jeffrey hung out more than, I don't know. You think Elon would have been tore down by now if that was the case. But let's see. Big banks ensure we stay in debt. Big pharma ensures we stay sick. Weapon manufacturers ensure we stay at war. Legacy media ensures we stay ignorant. And government ensures it's all legal. And voting or let's see, vote ensures it will all continue. Yeah, the circus never ends. It's a never-ending show. This is funny. Did you see the cokehead breakdown? So we've been saying this about Zelensky for a long freaking time. Now, you guys know I'm a recovering opiate addict. I did my years dabbling with cocaine back, in the 90s when I was super young. Definitely not something I would ever mess with now. It would explode my heart. But we have called this out. It takes one to know. And I'm telling you, we have pointed this out over and over and over. Just look at his nose. I love that. That is the classic. Get up there. Oh, make sure I don't have any on my mustache. I'll just tell him it's powdered sugar from a donut. Have me one of those American donuts. I don't know why that didn't have any sound. Maybe it was muted, or it's probably best. I'm sure there was something playing in the background that would get me copyrighted. But yeah, we've been telling you guys that's the reality of it. Yeah, he's the Scarface of Ukraine for sure. Okay, so you guys, I wake up this morning and the deck was pretty much already wrote. I try to get these shows wrote the night before so I can just add a few things and go. And I wake up to see Super Cum is trending. Like, what the fuck is Super Cum? Oh my God, what world are we living into? Well, it's even funnier than it sounds. So, a Russian pro-war Telegram channel with 1 million plus followers posted fakes changing the name of a UAV super cam on the official pictures of the Air Force to Super Cum. Despite how ridiculous it sounds, this works in Russia to discredit the Ukrainian army. So they're saying that this is Russian propaganda. Russia did this to make fun of the Ukraine's super cams by calling them super comms. And I would say it worked, Russia. Great job. Because you had all of us laughing. And the memes have been off the hook. I brought you just a couple. Here we go. Look up in the sky. It's a bird. It's a plane. It's super cum. Zelensky is ready for super cum. These are so bad. So yes, it was enjoyable to wake up to something funny this morning. Thank you, Russia. Thank you. Even if Russia didn't have anything to do with it, it was still fucking funny, right? But I love how they blame it on Russia. It was, oh, that's Russian disinformation. That's propaganda. It can't just be somebody cracking a joke and making fun of the fact that it looked like super cum. It's just funny. Claire Daly. We need 1 billion Claire Dalys out there fighting for us right now. We might actually get somewhere. Let's listen to what Claire has to say.
Far from helping, the IMF and the World Bank are imperialist institutions for the legalised theft of resources, where 85% of the world's population are left with the minority say, while the rich countries exercise a veto. And I think there is a really sick irony in the fact that the World Bank provides around 1.7 billion to the oil and gas sector, while at the same time reaping back repayments on the indebted poor, the very people suffering from the climate crisis in the first place. We see now the revolving door where Donald Trump's World Bank president appointee steps out, Joe Biden steps in, and the ownership of this World Bank and IMF by the EU, US continues. The very countries that are failing to pay for even the most meagre climate pledge. They failed to meet the 100 billion goal for 2020, but we actually need 6 times that finance in order to avoid the most dangerous climate change. So where's that money going to come from? We could have international financial institutions that work for people and the climate, that are oriented by human needs. We need to totally dismantle Bretton Woods and make something more democratic.
Here, here. God, I just love it when she burns those guys down. And they all sit there and fucking ignore her, right? Every time. Her and Mick when they do it. Steve, hi. Glad to see you stopping in for lunch or whatever break you're on. Jilly, what is this? Jilly says, I've been watching the live cams because the 2 nuke plants in Ukraine, but last night air defense was visible. So most cams are down today. You won't believe the insane chatter. That's scary. I know I listened to Fee and Vanessa Beeley yesterday. If you haven't caught it over on the Combo Couch, they had a really great in-depth conversation about so many different things. There's so much going on globally, right? It's not just the Ukraine we're watching, got to be watching the global south with everything that's going down there. And yeah, it's scary. It is scary. And now that they're, we're getting into the spring offensive, who knows what that's actually going to entail. US has a killed list. Yes, I reported that Randy Critico was now on it. Did you see? It's friggin' terrible. So riddle me this, Batman. What the hell is Elon Musk doing hanging out with Macron? I don't know. Let's see. He looks happy though.
Hello everyone. Messieurs, bonjour. Monsieur le Président. Vous allez bien?
Maybe he's bringing Starlight to them. I don't know. I never really caught what that meeting was about. And yeah, you guys saw the whole Warren Buffett freaking truth takedown this weekend. Jimmy Dore covered it. If not, a bunch of truths got dropped there, and they don't allow that. There's a class warfare, all right, but it's my class, the rich class, that are making war, and we're winning. Yeah, that's true. Warren Buffett said it. Why not? What's it matter to him? He don't know. Don't matter nothing to him. Come on, get out of here. Yeah, American geologists looking for oil. That's us. And or gold, right? That's how they look for gold too. This is how Democratic leadership responded to the Sioux tribe protesting a fossil fuel corporation in 2016. Never fucking forget. I will never forget. Oh yeah, it's everybody's own opinion. We like who we like. We don't like who we don't like. Doesn't mean that they're not bringing good information. I think it's just our own palate, right? Some people like onions, some people like pickles. They're both good, equally. I don't eat onions, but I just, if you like somebody, you like somebody. If you don't, you don't. You guys like my calla lilies today? I wish mine would hurry up and bloom. They're growing though. I brought you a Jimmy Dore. Guess what, guys? The CIA might have been in on 9/11. Like you didn't know about that? We've been telling you this for a long time.
Look at this bombshell.
Oh, hi, pretty.
9/11 hackers or hijackers were CIA recruits.
What?
Color
Yeah,
me.
what?
Push me over with a feather.
Push me.
At least 2 of the 9/11 hijackers had been recruited into a joint CIA-Saudi intelligence operation that was covered up at the highest level, according to a new court filing, and this comes from the Gray Zone, Kit Clarenberg. A newly released court filing raises grave questions about the relationship between Alex Station and a CIA unit set up to track AI Al-Qaeda chief Osama bin Laden and his associates, and 2 9/11 hijackers leading up to the attacks, which was subject to a cover-up at the highest levels of the FBI. Obtained by Spy Talk, The filing is a 21-page declaration by Don Canestraro, a lead investigator for the Office of Military Commissions, the legal body overseeing the cases of 9/11 defendants. It summarizes classified government discovery disclosures and private interviews he conducted with anonymous high-ranking CIA and FBI officials. Many agents who spoke to Canestraro headed up Operation Encore, the Bureau's aborted long-running probe into Saudi's government's connections to the 9/11 attack. Despite conducting multiple lengthy interviews with a range of witnesses, producing hundreds of pages of evidence, formally investigating several Saudi officials, and launching a grand jury to probe a Riyadh-run U.S.-based support network for the hijackers, Encore was abruptly terminated in 2016. This was purportedly due to a Byzantine intra-FBI bust-up over investigative methods. When originally released in 2021 on the office's public courts docket, every part of the document was redacted except an unclassified marking. Given its explosive contents, it is not difficult to see why. As Canestraro's investigation concluded, at least 2 9/11 hijackers had been recruited, either knowingly or unknowingly, into a joint CIA-Saudi intelligence operation, which may have gone awry.
Oh, it was definitely unknowingly. They would never intentionally do that crap because they're not allowed to do that stuff on domestic soil, right? If you are surprised by this report, I highly suggest you head over to Jason Burmis's Rockfin and check out his documentaries. Let's see, what is there? Loose Change and Shade the Motion Picture. I think he has another one out there too. Great work from years and years ago. He was saying this stuff 20 years ago. So, I mean, to be fair, Alex Jones was too. Not that I believe anything and everything that Alex Jones says, but he did get that one right, guys. Jax, I got this one from Jax. Hi, Jax, wherever you are in the world, from whatever port you're in today. I love seeing the pictures of you posting. Jax says, what? Jesus effing Christ. I had no idea this was a thing. Let's turn human rights violations and torture into a musical. I don't need to see this to know it is vile and gross. And of course, she would be referencing the Seattle musical that's being put on called Bad Apples, the Abu Ghraib musical. Yeah, they turned the Abu Ghraib story into a musical, and basically they made it about a girl from a small trailer park who joined the military because she got a case of nationalisms after 9/11, and then she fell in love with the powerful but leader type inside the military, and this was his doing. It was his sick twisted thing, and she got caught up in it. So basically what I see this as is them softening the fucking narrative to try to, oh, it wasn't our military, it wasn't being done by these people or agencies, it was just a few bad actors. So that's why they call it Bad Apples, because they were just a few bad apples. Yeah, what the fuck, Angeli? What the fuck? So yeah, that's what you get in liberal Seattle. That is so gross. It is so freaking sickening. Here, I'll show you the picture again, just so you can be extra grossed out. So there you are. Bad Apples, the Abu Ghraib musical, is now showing through September 25th on the Axe Theater stage in Seattle. There you go. Oh, it actually looks like it's playing at 3 different places, maybe. Gross. So gross. Whoever gives their money to this is insane and stupid. And they'll come out and be like, oh my God, that was the most moving, like so stupid. So easily sheep-herded. I had a better meme for this, but I thought YouTube would hit me for it. Did you guys hear? Soros is not dead, or is dead, or is not dead. I don't know. Till they change his thing on his his LinkedIn page or his whatever page, I'm not going to believe he's dead, because every few months we hear he's dead, and it's same with Kissinger, right? Like, oh, Kissinger, oh, I know. So yeah, I'm not going to believe it till it's official, and nobody's officially said it. So Maybe, maybe not. Would he tell the world? Would they tell the world if he died? I don't know. I really don't. I thought that I remember them reporting this in 2016 and asking, would they even tell us? I don't know. Just weird. But Biden looks a lot like him nowadays. He's morphing into him. I think that one's going to stick around for a while, the Crypt Keeper. Do you guys see this? Just in, Argentina Central Bank hikes interest rates to 97%. That is insane. We're planning a trip to Argentina. I don't know what that looks like, and especially in 6 or 7 months, but I will be keeping an eye on it. I'm doing a lot more research as I'm trying to get ready for this Argentina trip. So I will be giving you guys all kinds of new information once I get it. So this is a local story that kind of pissed me off, but I kind of mixed it into a local story with something that I saw. So half of America makes less than 35K. Stop asking us why we're not having children. Stop asking us why we're not buying homes. Stop asking us why we can't save. Stop asking us why we don't get a better job. Ask corporations why they're paying their employees low wages. Now, you see, I have a picture of a Dollar Tree here. Now, my daughter works at a Dollar Tree, and it's our only local Dollar Tree. Each one of our towns has a Dollar Tree, just like most of America, small rural America, all have Dollar Trees, right? That's how the poor people eat and get our necessities. So our air conditioner went out in our dollar store a couple of years ago. So last summer was brutal. I remember talking to her a couple of times. I go in there and she'd have her hair up. She'd just be pouring sweat. And I'm not even kidding you. It is, even on a cloudy day, it's like fucking 80, 85 degrees in that store. So on a hot, nice, sunny day, it probably tops 110, especially in the back room in there. So our Dollar Tree solution to that this week was to just post in a local random Facebook group for our area saying, hey guys, sorry to inconvenience you, but we're only going to be open early in the morning when it's not so hot. And yeah, we got to let the employees go home because it's just too hot here. Now, this has been a problem ongoing with this store for years. So I blasted. I said, you fucking cheapskates, buy your employees an air conditioner and stop inconveniencing the community that freaking keeps you in business, that supports you. You cannot tell me that, okay, so say that this Dollar Tree is locally owned, right? Because a lot of these are franchised, right? The grocery outlets are all franchised, all of these. So it's some person who bought this franchise, but it's a part of a much larger corporation. So say this store, the owner personally can't afford the $10,000 to add a central air unit to it. Well, isn't that what the corporate's for? Like, hey, we're going to lose money. We're losing hours. We're losing employees. I've even heard of the employees in there, like having freaking, like having to go home. They're so sick from the heat stroke that they're getting in there. And it just pisses me off. These corporations just suck, 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 suck. They can't even give these poor employees a goddamn air conditioner. Not to mention, it's a Dollar Tree. They have a whole aisle of nothing but chocolate bars. How much product are they throwing away every time it gets past 75 degrees in that store? As somebody who used to run convenience stores, I'm telling you, you got to throw that shit away once it melts 2 or 3 times. People come back and they're pissed if their candy bar is in a big lump. This is, to me, is just another example of corporate abuse of their freaking employees and enslavement. And it pisses me off to see it happening to my own child. So get a fucking air conditioner, Port Angeles Dollar Store. Did you guys see the cover of Sports Illustrated? Now, I remember as a kid, we only got 2 subscriptions in my house. We got Time Magazine and we got Sports Illustrated. And I looked forward to the swimsuit edition so that way I could compare myself to the beautiful women and then feel bad about myself for the rest of the year because I couldn't look like them in a swimsuit. But they've changed that up the last couple of years. Of course, last year was very controversial. They had a very heavier set woman on the cover. I can't remember who it was. I could remember if I tried, but this year it is 81-year-old Martha Stewart. So yeah, diversity, guys, diversity. I gotta say, she really doesn't look that bad, but there's a shit ton of filters on that. I'm telling you, that is super filtered, super filtered. The pose leaning forward, good choice. That's how I do it too, because you got that mommy gut. You gotta hide after you get past the 40s, and she really don't look that bad. But let us not forget, she is a elite who for some reason got thrown under the bus by the other elites. Remember when they made her go to jail for like, what, 18 months or something? When they never do that to anybody else. But, they've accepted her back. So she did her time and she apologized for her crime, the same crime that they're all doing. But she's allowed to come back, and her reward is the cover of Sports Illustrated Magazine's swimsuit edition at 81 years old. Now I'm going to talk shit. I like seeing the diversity of it. Whatever. I'm sure there's a lot of men out there that are fucking disappointed, but that's just the way it is. Tell them Large Marge sent ya. Okay, guys, we got to talk about the woke beer bullshit. And, we've seen Bud Light. I haven't really covered it because I really just don't go to. They intentionally want you upset about this, right? There's a lot of money being dumped into the transhumanist movement via the trans movement. And we've talked about this many times. It's a conversation we can only have on Fridays when we're not on YouTube. But I wanted you guys to see that Miller Lite told Bud Light, hold my beer. You guys have lost fucking a shit ton of sales over the last, it's insane how much sales have dropped for Bud Light since they went woke. So check out Miller Lite's wokeness.
Here's a little known fact. Women were among the very first to brew beer ever. From Mesopotamia to the Middle Ages to colonial America, women were the ones doing the brewing. Centuries later, how did the industry pay homage to the founding mothers of beer? They put us in bikinis. Wow. Look at this shit. Wild. It's time beer made it up to women. So today, Miller Lite is on a mission to clean up not just their shit, but the whole beer industry's shit. Miller Lite has been scouring the internet for all this shit and buying it back so that they can turn it into good shit for women brewers. Literally, good shit. How, you ask? Ladies, take it away.
First, we turn the bad shit into compost. Then we feed compost to worms. Push out beautiful fertilizer. That good shit helps farmers grow quality hops,
which is then donated to women brewers to make their own really good shit.
But there's definitely more shit out there. In your attic, in the garage, in your parents' basement. Send any shit you got into Miller Lite, and they'll turn that into good shit too. Oh. So here's to women, because without us, there would be no beer.
I'm sorry, but this is the cringe shit, and that's what I'm calling it. Gross, cringy, fucking bullshit. Did you guys learn nothing, Miller, from watching what just happened? Go woke, go broke is a fucking saying because it's real. I used to watch that show. What is that show with those two girls? But they went so neo-lib during 2016. Remember they had Hillary Clinton on, and I was just like, oh, I'm absolutely done with that show. I can't remember what it was. It was kind of funny. Yeah. So total cringe. And I don't deny that women have probably been brewing beer since the beginning of time. Obviously, they make it. They look at history through these rose-colored glasses, like women have been just locked up in the tower and not allowed to do any manual labor. We have been the manual labor forever. So of course we were making hops. But the funny thing is they think that they're going to get a whole new genre of female beer drinkers. And for the most part, women are a little bit more health conscious than men. I hate to say it, but a lot of times we are. We also are because we have children, we can't just go get effed up all the time. To try to change this, it's just stupid to me. So stupid. So we'll keep an eye on Miller's bottom line and see how much that hurt them. See if they learned anything from it. Robert F. Kennedy put this tweet out. Not shocking, right? Robert F. Kennedy Jr. says, looks like not-for-profit hospitals made huge profits and asset gains during the pandemic while receiving $23 billion in federal aid. Say it ain't so. Where did the money go? According to the report, some went to their top executives, many of whom took home more than 10 million a year. So we had to save the hospitals so that way the CEOs could put it in their pocket. That was a pretty interesting thread over there, but truth's not allowed to be told. So, who believes the media controls people? Who believes they're being controlled by the media? Yeah, this is the thing that blows my mind, right? Like people just, oh yeah, the media is propaganda, but not the media I listen to. Yeah, I went some rounds this week with some people I consider friends that are saying, a vote for Robert Kennedy Jr. is a vote for Trump, and I'm like, what? No, like it's a vote for the DNC and Biden, but how is it a vote for Trump? And then it was, well, the only people that follow him are MAGAs and Christians. I'm like, what? Who told you that? Are you watching CNN or Fox? Because that's not the reality of it. The reality I see is a huge chunk of the Bernie movement is behind RFK Jr. and the other half are behind Williamson. So yeah, no, that's not all. And if they were MAGA, wouldn't they be voting for Trump? What are they, disenfranchised MAGA? I just don't understand the mentality with this, right? I mean, sure, I'm sure some of them are Christian. We're a Christian nation. There's a lot of Christians living in this country. So, I mean, to weed them out by that, you can call them Zionists too, Julie. It's all good. Most Christians don't realize they're Zionists. I know I didn't until I realized what a Zionist was. I want to go back. Hold on. There was another meme on there I wanted to cover. This one's important from David Icke, because David Icke's lizard man. He would never tell you any truth. So this is there's some really good news over on davidicke.com, and I don't care what anybody says. You didn't see this anywhere in the mainstream media in America. So 3 Rhode Island teachers were fired for refusing and they got their job back yesterday. They were ordered to reinstate them fully, immediately, with back pay, and they had to give them $33K each for compensating for, the hell they put them through. So yay, small victory in America that you won't hear about in America. You have to go to Crazy Lizard Man David Icke's .com to find that news. So yeah, that's a small victory if you ask me. Do you know JFK knows he's being used? I don't know, Kim. That's the question, right? Like, this is Oz and I talk about this all the time. Like, did he already sit in that smoke-filled back room and they know Biden don't have a fucking chance, and Camelot could reinvigorate the DNC back to the days of the Kennedys in the 60s, and they're just going to let this play out, and then at the end, like, oh yeah, he won. I don't know, but I guess we'll see, right? I guess at the end of the day, we'll see. If he's truly in it to win it, like he says, he'll go independent once the DNC shit's all over him. I think that'll be the true test, right? I guess that'll be the true test. Or does he tell you just to vote for Biden, which is probably most likely what's going to happen? Good question. We don't know. I don't know who to trust. Don't believe anything. Don't know anything, right? It's kind of the way of the world nowadays. Timing matters for COVID vaccine effectiveness. So younger and older people gain greater protection if they had the jab in the middle of the day. Fuck, didn't work. Got my jab after 12 p.m. at night. Like, guys, the things they put out to dilute the truth is so insane. It's just crazy. I'm not going to stay any more on that topic because I am on YouTube and they love to smack us around for that one. We've been smacked around a couple of times for COVID misinformation. We're so scared we won't even say that I word on here any longer. So one of the things I saw trending this week, which this isn't a news story, I don't know why it was trending, probably because there's a new Fast and Furious movie. That's why it's trending. So did you hear that Paul Walker might have been, speculation, killed by the Clinton machine? And so Clinton versus Walker. Some are saying Paul Walker had uncovered evidence connecting the Clinton Foundation to a conspiracy to illegal drugs in Haitians through food and medical supplies. So it says they were illegally drugging Haitians through food and medical supplies right before he died in his fatal car accident in 2013. The Fast and the Furious star tragic death has risen many doubts about it being accidental after the official ruling declared that the Porsche Carrera GT he was traveling in lost control and crashed. That video's out there. It's horrific. There's a lot of questions. He wasn't driving, obviously. And in 2013, actor Paul Walker was set to testify against Hillary Clinton. Absolutely not. There is no evidence of that. And yeah, this is just a big conspiracy. He was down there working with Haiti. He was doing the Haitian relief, but I don't know if they can actually connect this one, right? You hear this about everybody because Paul Walker's not the only one that we've seen connections to this for, right? 6 years ago this week, sadly, we lost Chris Cornell, the singer of Soundgarden and Audioslave, which still, just saying that makes me want to cry. It's like a punch in the gut. Chris Cornell was the soundtrack of my life. And immediately they started saying the same thing about his death, right? He was found strangled with an exercise band, apparently, in his hotel room, just performed. Went within like literally an hour after coming off stage, he was in his room. There's a lot of questions on that one. Just like Chester Bennington, there's a lot of questions with that. Did the Clinton machine actually have anything to do with all three of these? I don't know. It's pretty speculating, but it says singer from Soundgarden, Chris was working with Chester Bennington to expose Hollywood P rings leading to Podesta and Clinton. He was found dead on May 18th. 2017, reportedly, I'm not allowed to say that word. Police say he had head trauma and a workout band around his neck. So how do you get head trauma? I'm sure they chalked it up to he fell over and smacked his head. These are open questions, but I always see the conspiracies online. Did the Clintons have something to do with it? Now, my son went and did a mission in Haiti in 2016 or 2017. And yeah, I saw a lot of iffy stuff going on down there via the stuff that he was, reporting and bringing back. But it always just has always made me very interested in what's going on in Haiti. And so I tried to bring you a clip of Dan Cohen, who we've been bringing Dan Cohen to you guys for a while now. He is over reporting for Redacted. Not Lee Camp Redacted, the other Clayton Morris Redacted. He's full-time over there now, I believe, and he has done amazing work at telling, uncovering the truth of what's really happening in Haiti, telling you, pointing out how the bad guys are supposedly the good guys, like it always is, right? And how much of this is a continuation of what we did in Haiti, what the Clintons did in Haiti, right? They went there, they made all that money. Remember, all the celebrities were raising money for Haiti, and it turns out really they've only got a couple of houses to show for it. And they got trafficked really hard during all of that. So go watch Dan Cohen if you guys want to know just how terrible, the things we did in Haiti are and how they're still playing out today. But we do this everywhere. We corrupt, we co-opt their governments, or we coup them, corrupt, co-op, coup. It's all what we do. Redacted does seem to be doing a lot of dog whistling lately. Do you think, Julie? I haven't really watched a lot of them. I do like what Dan Cohen's been reporting, but I'm so busy. It makes me sad because I have so many friends in independent media, and I love to watch them all day. Convo Couch and Sab and everybody when they go live. But it's so hard because I'm working and trying to get my stuff done, and I feel bad that I can't just sit and watch everybody's shows every day. And so yeah, sometimes I'm out of the loop. I saw somebody talking about a facelift earlier. Jilly, was that you? Well, look, I brought you a new facelift. This is called the Awake facelift. And I first saw this on Twitter the other day, and it was just the video of the woman in her face. And I'm like, what the hell are they doing here? Well, then I went and found an explanation. And this is called an Awake facelift.
This correctly, this is an awake facelift. It's pretty incredible what you can do with some oral sedation, the tumescent technique, and some local nerve blocks. You can undermine all of this skin.
That's so gross. Here, I'll play it again just so you can see it one more time.
This correctly, this is an awake facelift. It's pretty incredible what you can do with some oral sedation, the tumescent technique, and some local nerve blocks. You can undermine all of this skin.
Why does she look like she's enjoying it? She's like, oh yeah, this is good. They must have her really doped up. Probably something bad like fentanyl. Facelifts, for me, I turned 49 next week, guys, and I have never Botoxed facelift. I'm lucky if I get dollar store lotion to put on my face, and I absolutely believe it's genetics. Your looks are 100% genetics and how much you're out in the sun, which is really not true for me because I've been a sun worshiper, and I should have more sun damage than I have, but if there was a way to get a facelift that you don't look like a cat lady in your 70s or 80s, I might consider it, but they all look crazy. They all look like Joker and look at the Kardashians. Oh my God, they're going to pull their bodies out of the ground in 100 years. They're going to look exactly the same. Like, it's so bad. Oh, don't even get me started on the new weight loss drug that they're all taking. I did a report for you guys, I think on To Hell and Back, probably, I don't know, 6 months ago, about how they're taking diabetic meds and they're selling them as a weight loss. And it works really well for a lot of people. And the rich are buying so much of it that now true diabetics can't even get the supply that they need because they're just buying it up in groves. So they say that pretty much all the people, all the celebrities that you see that have done some dramatic weight loss in the last couple of years, like Adele or, all of that's the drug that they're on. It's there's quite a few names for it. It's what was it called? Waiagu, something like that. But anyways, there's a lot of reports out there. I've even done reports on it. And they have this thing called you get this face from it. Apparently, if you take it for too long and you lose too much weight, you get this gaunt like lines in your faces. So now they're saying that you have this this face. They can tell if you've been taking it. So there is no magic cure. We know there is no magic cure. But that's just terrible that the poor people, the poor diabetics that it was designed for can't get it because the elites are taking it to lose weight. Just sad. Maybe I'll do a report Thursday on it. I'll bring you guys an update. I will, because it interested me. Let's see. Geoengineering, spraying aluminum to block out the sun, and cloud seeding to cause rain. Yeah, everybody thinks that that's just made up, but we know better. And I'm not saying it's hot in Washington, but two hobbits just threw a ring in my backyard. That's how hot it was here yesterday. It was just melting hot. And shout out to that anonymous donor who last week hurried up, helped me out. I got an air conditioner in here, so it wasn't 90 degrees back here for me or my system. So thank you so much. I'll be able to pump through the summer. And yeah, our weather's just been terrible and weird, but I see a lot of others are picking up on the geoengineering that I've been reporting on for the last couple of months. The truth that's sneaking out everywhere, right? ABC, Good Morning America did a little thing about it. A lot of local newses, a lot of local Foxes are like, oh, look at the newest, greatest thing. It's called geoengineering. And like, yeah, we've been telling you that they've been doing this for a long time. Oh yeah, but they just started now. No, they didn't just start now. They just started telling you that they're doing it now because it's so obvious that they can't lie any longer. That's what's going on. Oh, you guys know I love birds. I love birds. And I found this little clip of a condor who had broke his wing and somebody had nursed him back to health and he came back a long time later to visit. It's so cute. I love birds, and condors for me are just, oh man, they're so just fascinating to look at.
Sí. Hola. ¿Cómo está? Tanto tiempo. ¿Me viniste a saludar? Da una vuelta por atrás, Carlito. Loco! ¿Qué te cuenta? ¿Vamos a una vuelta? Mirá. Qué lindo. Qué lindo. Bueno, loco. Bueno. Dale vuelta para atrás, Carlito. No, qué cosa hermosa. Bueno. ¿Qué? Mira la cámara.
You don't like the camera.
Mimoso. No, ¿Qué pasa?
Wasn't that cool? I just thought that video is so cool. And I like to bring you guys cool, uplifting videos, especially animal videos. And yeah, to have such a big predator bird be so lovey and affectionate, that's just got to be hell cool. I'm always thought every time I see a crow fly, I'm like, hey, crow, come back, talk to me. Like, my neighbors must think I'm just batshit crazy. I've always tried to get the crows to talk to me. Denver, Atway. This shows how they've been geoengineering for a while. Let me check it out. And yeah, I mean, the Tet Offensive during the Vietnam War. I mean, some say that it goes back as far as the OSS and World War II. So who actually knows? I mean, they say that the idea of seeding clouds was actually goes back to like the 30s. So I don't know. I just know it's been around for a long time. I've had an aunt who's been trying to convince me of geoengineering, and I'm not kidding, since the late 90s. And I told her she was batshit crazy up until probably about 2013 or 14. And then I was like, okay, yeah, you're right. That is not what I used to see as a child. You know, she'd just say, look up, and you can see how it's changed. So she was right. And you guys have been wishing me happy birthday all day in the chat. My birthday is next week, but Geminis are coming. That's right. Oh no, that sucks. Oh my God. Not the Geminis. I don't know. Geminis have such a bad name out of all of the zodiac. I don't know why. There is actually more serial killers are Geminis and Virgos than any other. It's probably the duality that we have in our personality, because that is the root. We are duality. And yeah, I am the twin, and I have my Irish twin brother. I have a brother out there, looks just like me, born on the same day. So I actually am a twin. I'm a Gemini twin. So happy birthday to all the Geminis out there. And let's hope Mercury retrograde goes away soon, because I'm really over it. I got to get my plant meme in here for the day. I got this from Shelly. Thank you, Shelly. So this is how I die. Free plants. I would too. I would. I'm so plant obsessed right now. So treats cancer, causes cancer. Yes. If you guys didn't know, Joey's Coffee makes or has amazing dandelion tea. I love it. I can't get enough of it. And yeah, it treats all kinds of stuff. Dandelion tea is the cure. I just watched a thing on strawberry leaves. I didn't know you could harvest strawberry leaves, and they're great for pain. They're great for all kinds of things. You just dehydrate them and you make them into a super powder. And yeah, that was really cool. You can Google it, strawberry leaves, and they'll teach you how to do it. Snork, I'm on vacation. Feel free to call for Geo update. Oh, glad to hear you're on vacation, Snork. Nobody deserves some time off more than you. You go. Do the coming twice, ask for a friend. I don't know. That's funny. The condors. Yeah. I remember being down on the border, and they have a song down there because the condor is the bird of Mexico. And the migrants have made it their theme, that and butterflies. And because of butterfly, the monarch, it always, migrates down there. And they had some song about the condor, my people, my condor. I can't remember, but I will always conflate the condor with the plight of the migrants. And you know what, guys? I think we're getting close to the end. I got a Julian Assange here. So, Julian, journalism's not a crime. Sydney, anybody watching down under, y'all need to be getting your stuff ready. Save the date. My birthday, May 24th, Wednesday, Hyde Park Fountain. Biden's going to be in town, and we need a lot of pressure put on him, guys. We need all of Australia to come forward and say, let our people go. Let our person go. This is enough. So we will be covering that. I'm sure Misty will be covering that. Action for Assange will be covering that. So yeah, save the dates. And I also went to say Seed Savers for an annual old seed trade. Oh, that's awesome. We don't have that around here that I'm not aware of, man. Not at all. Jilly got some sweet potatoes and yams. Are not nightshade. Regular potatoes are. Ah, good to know. I actually don't have any potatoes down yet. I've got my squash in, I got my zucchini, and I got some butternut, I think. And I went sunflower crazy, guys. I told you guys I was going to do a competition between the American hybrid sunflower and the Russian mammoth. And I got to tell you guys, the Russian mammoths are freaking that tall and strong, and the American ones are barely popping their little heads out. So I already can tell you who's going to win. I see I have a guest. You want to come see? Come here, sweetie. Let it go. There you go. That's my sweet girl. Say hi. Say hi. We got a few minutes to kill. She's not a camera kitty. She's never been a camera kitty. But she is my sweetest baby ever, huh? You're the sweet girl. She's my forever kitten. Come on. To mama, sweet girl, you say hi to everybody? She want to say hi. She's a very sweet baby. She's very neurotic. She's the most neurotic cat I've ever had. Like if the wind blows too much outside, she'll cry at me about it. She'll hide. She'll hide. Yeah, get out there and garden, guys. I mean, even if you're like me and I'm just in a little tiny travel, mobile, and I get pots and I just, one pot's growing tomatoes, one pot's growing chives, one pot's growing, I've got shipping containers that I'm using to grow my squash and zucchini in, and I'm just going to do everything else in sunflowers this year. So, okay, guys, I think that's it for me. I know I have a meeting this afternoon with one of the viewers, and I will meet up with you guys later. And what do we got this week? Tomorrow's Wednesday, so nothing tomorrow. Thursday, I see Pasta's on the move again. Hopefully, Pasta and I'll be doing a to hell and back, and maybe I'll do that update on that weight loss drug, and we'll recap what that is. And I'm sure it's got some terrible side effects. And then Friday, uncensored. We will not be on YouTube. And Saturdays, you can catch Beauty and the Boomer as always. We appreciate you guys more than we can ever say. Denver, appreciate all the links you drop me on these shows. I do go look at them after the show because sometimes you give me some good stuff. So if you want to send me stuff on Twitter, it's at Chanda-Masta. I love the links. Jilly always hooks me up with lots of great stuff, and you can too. President Jesus, love you, Shanda. Oh, I love you guys back. I do this for you guys. So I brought you guys an amazing closing song. I've been sitting on this closing song for like probably 4 or 5 months, but I was waiting till we got closer to the anniversary of the death of Chris Cornell. And this came from the greatest soundtrack to ever exist, and that is the single soundtrack of 1992. It was a movie filmed in Seattle, Washington, and it was produced by all kinds of Seattle musicians. I mean, every great Seattle grunger is on there, including Chris Cornell. And I love this. This is Seasons, and this is Larry Sandman. This is a hard song, and he kills it. So I will see you guys again on Thursday, and thanks for hanging out. We had a good day. Have a good day.
Summer nights and long warm days, stolen as the old moon falls. Mirror shows another face, another place to hide it all, another place to hide. Behind, and the words I'll never find, and I'm left behind. should I be beside myself and not even stay? And I'm lost behind, and the words I'll never find, and I'm left behind as the seasons roll on by.